My name is JC of the Mindful Awakening, and this is an episode of Conscious Conversations. Today, I am joined by my friend, quantum healer, indie tarot deck creator, and the creator of the beautiful Ascensions tarot deck, Dani'el Norman. Hi!
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy that you said yes.
You know what? I told myself that I need to start saying yes when people ask me like things that are like taking me out of my comfort zone.
You're inspiring me to continue saying yes too. I've kind of hit a rut.
Yes, and we have to, don't we? If we want to continuously grow.
Absolutely. Which
know.
Brings us to today's session, which is all about imposter syndrome.
Yes. Oh, I know all about that.
Me as well. So I don't know if you have a drink. I have a nice cold one. I'm just gonna sip my tea, my water.
Yeah, you have water.
I have water.
It's cold here.
It's hot here.
Isn't that funny?
Cheers.
I know, exactly. Cheers. Oh, here I am cheersing your screen. You can't even see it. Dude, see it? There we are.
Oh my gosh, I love the vibe already. Oh man.
Yeah.
So imposter syndrome, this affects me personally every single moment of the day.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, for me at least, my definition of imposter syndrome is that little voice inside your head. It's like your inner saboteur, as RuPaul from RuPaul's Drag Race would call it, that's constantly telling you that you're not worthy or you can't do what you think you want to do. It's the voice inside your head that makes you second guess what your intuition is telling you would like to do naturally.
I know.
How does it affect you?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll just use the example with the tarot deck. I almost didn't print that at all. Like I just, because who am I, right? That's the little person in my apartment up here is like, who are you to add to the tarot community? Who are you to, you're not an artist. Like you've never created anything like this before. Like, who are you? Danielle, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, what am I doing? Like, who am I? Right? Like it makes you question yourself all the time, but naturally you just want to do it. And naturally you do have this cheerleader in your head being like, go for it, do it, tap, tap, tap. What are you waiting for? And like the devil and the angel on the shoulders, right?
Yes.
They're arguing with each other.
Yeah. What was your biggest challenge with the deck? I don't even think I asked you how long it took for you to create the deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So July of 2019, and then I finally had it printed in October 2020, but I kept prolonging it. And actually, I had a reading with Rion.
Okay.
Yes, who's the king of
the guy in,
yep. Yes. He lives in Sedona. And I had a reading with him, and he's like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. The voice in the inside, he's like, Danielle, you need to get that printed. Like, come on. And I was like, and then I was just okay, let's do this. So, so yeah, it was October. I did put it on Kickstarter. So that was another thing. I put it on Kickstarter and it didn't do well. It's hard marketing, like being an indie artist, like,
oh yeah,
you're doing everything, right? You're the marketer, you're the creator, you're the designer, you're
girl, like, preach to the choir.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah, with your videos, like you're the marketer, you're the editor, right? Like you're doing everything.
And you never know what's actually going to land for people. And it's funny because on the outside, it seems like it's all about sales. It seems like it's a money-driven motive. And it's really not. It's learning how to be strategic and utilize these tools to reach as many people as possible with your messages.
That's right.
Exactly. But it's tough when everything is straight strategy, knowing the markets. And when you're already walking into a situation thinking there's so many people out there doing what I'm doing, what the hell do I have to contribute?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was one, I'm not going to name her name, but she had talked about like when she created her deck, and she even said the same thing. Who am I to do this? Look at all these other people that are creating these decks. Like basically you have to have an original idea, but there are no original ideas anymore. There's no original ideas, but you have your own story, which nobody else has, right?
Exactly.
You have your own eyes that nobody else has. So you can create something that's completely different. Same idea, but completely different, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And at this point too, I can totally relate to your story. Even just with my page alone, the first thing that came into my mind was, why am I even thinking about doing this?
Yes.
What in God's name?
I know.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Number one, I was like a closeted spiritual junkie.
Like a
right? But like, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but you know, I come from a very old school Filipino upbringing and super Catholic. We just don't do stuff like this. Like, people are scared of things like tarot cards and all that. And yet it's still such a big part of our culture. Superstitions, feng shui, all of that, which in some ways is like, it's just a different form of spirituality.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
exactly. But because, you know, voodoo and all that stuff is like also really big in our culture, there's like a weird preconceived negative notion associated with people who say that they can read cards. So I kind of just ignored, I guess, my clairvoyance. Even to this day, I have a hard time saying that I feel that way, that I can't identify as that. I don't feel comfortable with that label.
No, absolutely.
There's like, I feel like there's pressure associated with declaring yourself as such as well. So I was a closeted person. When I started my Instagram page, no one knew about it. I briefly mentioned it to a few friends. I look back at those messages, sometimes literally paragraphs with like an explanation and a rationale.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy. Yeah. Like, you got to justify why you're doing this and
why you're sharing your heart space with the world, right?
Yeah, literally saying, hey, please don't judge me, but do you mind taking a look and letting me know what you think, what your opinions are?
But
crazy.
That's also, so you have this voice in your head, right? And it's like you need validation. So you're almost like you're asking for permission when you don't.
Absolutely. And we're constantly judging and assessing.
Constant, isn't it? It's so tiring. It's so tiring. You know what? If you just listen to this side of your body, right? Like, so the light side and then the night side, as you know, right? So this is our light side. And it's like, this is where like the positive, you know, this is where your 5D is. And it's like your heart stays. If you just listen to that, that's going to guide you. Yeah, you have your night side on here, which is great for balance, right? But I just find like when you tune into this side, like you won't doubt yourself if you listen from this side.
Absolutely. So I actually started going to therapy in August, just this past summer, and I've been going very consistently. And something that showed up for me that I didn't think they were all interconnected, but I realized that every time that inner saboteur, that imposter syndrome comes up, a lot of the time it's like, it is a childhood wound.
Yes.
It is 100% for me, growing up in a very competitive space, all of my cousins and I always being compared to one another, always having to have the best grades in school, always fearing being a disappointment. You know, and it's definitely not a knock to my parents.
Not at all.
And
we're all just we're utilizing the tools that we have, and that's what we have to work with, right? So we can't blame anybody.
Absolutely. And so now every time it shows up, I am constantly asking myself, what does my younger self need in this moment? Because I recognize it's not me as an adult right here in the present moment. Granted, there might be fears of judgment, but there's always a root cause of that fear of judgment. And it's looking bad versus looking good. It's, will people make fun of me? It's, will anyone believe me? is this message going to resonate with anybody?
Yes.
I mean, with your deck, I'm sure that you were even wondering, oh, how are people going to feel about real people mixed with yeah, which was the best part in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's so crazy about that too, is because like I'll read, like people will do like you know, review videos on YouTube, and I'll read the comments, and some people are just like, they don't hold back, and they're like,
don't.
I hate this deck. It's too people. It's too people-y. It's too love and light. There's too much light in the deck, and I'm like,
then get a different deck.
Yeah, don't look at it then. Right?
But don't you love that when the internet trolls come out?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, go back to what you were saying. I kind of interrupted there, I think.
I interrupted you. I was actually just saying how I was actually just saying how the part that maybe you were afraid of the most was actually the part that resonated with me the most.
Yes.
I loved the combination of the real people with, like, literally it felt like a holographic background.
Yes.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a collage of sorts, but not.
Yeah, because I had to make all the backgrounds and then just added the people, and even the clothes on the people for the most part are all made up too.
Oh right? Yeah, that purple suit.
Yeah. The Crystal King. Yes. Oh, the Emperor.
The Emperor. Yeah. I love that purple suit. I'm like, damn, talk about royalty. This man owns the room.
I know. I do. Yeah. But you know what? You love it or you hate it. Some people like drawn cards. Some people like, I've heard lots of people say, I love being able to see the people, the real people in the cards, because then I have a connection, and it's like I want to be in that world.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you silenced those voices and you decided to just create what was authentic to your expression.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting too is that, yes, I had to silence it, but it still comes up all the time, but it made me more open. So the deck that I'm creating now, the Odin's Playbook one, so that's a drawn one. So it made me, which again, I've never done anything like that before either. So it's made me, like, it's pushed me to do that, to like go into that creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know, there's some good things about the imposter syndrome stuff, right? Because it pushes you to see things in a different way. Mm-hmm. So yes, I guess you take the good and the bad, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Yeah. For me too, I feel like outside of business, imposter syndrome also affects my personal relationships. And like even the workplace, because I do have a 9-to-5 job, and in that space, I am constantly fighting with myself to just speak up. And own my own truth, own my wisdom, own my contribution to my job. There's always, because I have a younger looking face, people forget that I've been teaching for a decade. So it is crazy. Yes. So everyone just thinks, oh, what does she have to say? And I've also realized that that's also a story that I have created about other people based off of based off of the assumptions I have made from their facial expressions, from their like body language, which nowadays, when I look back at my earlier years, they could have been having like an upset stomach. They could have had a fight with their spouse. They could have been gassy. How would I know?
It's so true. And they could have been having a bad day, right? Yeah. And taking it on you, or something's happened. I know, we just assume things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I assume it has something to do with me. And then I use that as justification to play small and keep my mouth shut and not say yes to opportunities that may be presented to me.
I know.
And I think about all these years that have gone by, like, man, what would have happened if I just said yes?
Yes. No, it's so true. Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean, because that's what I said. Like the month of May, Like it was about saying yes to everything, despite my fears, despite, you know, the person inside my head saying, you're not worthy, you're not good enough, right? Who are you to like add anything to this conversation, right?
Right. Yeah.
But we all feel it. We all feel it.
We all do. And it shows up also in personal relationships.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You know, I remember, again, my younger self consenting to relationships that just did not serve me, being okay with being treated poorly, not getting what I actually wanted in terms of just like treatment, commitment, communication, and just yes, literally just throwing all that shit out the window and telling myself, oh, I guess I deserve this. It's not that bad. Why am I complaining? Or why would I leave? They're a good enough person. Why am I complaining about these things? It's not that big of a deal.
I know.
Terrible. Yeah. And I look back at those times, I would never do half the things that I did back then now. I just wouldn't. And I guess that's a testament to the healing I've done throughout the years, exposure to people like yourself.
Yeah, you're aware now. You're aware now. And that's the thing, like you've gone through all that pain. You've gone through the pain, you've become more aware, you think back, like those are your lessons. And it's like, I would never act like that again, or I would never treat somebody like that again. And I would never allow myself to be treated like that. Right.
That's a good one, to treat other people that way as well. But then sometimes that's our own insecurity talking.
I know, but we do, like, not only do we feel like we're being treated in a certain way, we're like, in order for us to see that, we have to be projecting that onto that person too, right?
Mirrors. Oh, girl, you are talking my language.
I know. Me and my partner, we're mirrors to one another. It's just like, okay, he's just reacted that way. What have I just projected on him for him to react this way? Okay, what's it within myself that I'm thinking? It's like, I've even like, it's got, you end up going down the rabbit hole when you do that. Cause it's like, are you even really here? Am I just here and everybody else holograms?
Yes.
Do you do that?
I feel you. It happens to me all the time. And then I have to snap myself out of it because I realize, I've just like transported myself somewhere.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I do get to that point, even though it feels inauthentic, and I think, because one of the things that I always get asked is, okay, when you can recognize you're in that space, what do you do then? And I always say, do the thing that you would never choose to do, the uncomfortable thing.
Yes.
And even if it feels inauthentic in the moment, it only feels that way because it's a muscle you haven't worked out enough.
Yes.
Realize that this is actually your higher self calling you to go here.
I know,
it's your ego that's telling you, no, stay here where it's comfortable. Keep fighting with that person.
I know.
Keep arguing, keep bickering, be right.
It's true. So there's a lady that I work with. I meet with her. She does remote healing on me from the UK once a month. Her name's Nicola. And she gave me a really like aha moment about this. And she said, so when you're in that heated moment, she said, because your higher self, your highest self already knows the script to this play that you're in because it's already happened, right? And they know what the best thing is for you in this moment. She said, walk away for 5 minutes, go sit in like meditation or whatever, just go and sit and ask for the script. What do I ask for the script? What is, right?
Yeah.
Right? Just ask for the script of like the highest good of what you could say and do in this moment that would create the best outcome. What is the script for this? What am I supposed to say now? What do I do? Ask for the script. And I was like, Nicola, you're so smart.
That's so powerful.
I think so too. So next time, because you're doing it now, ask for the script. Highest version of myself. What is the script for this? What's the script? What's the script in this play? What's the script in this movie that we are in? This reality that we're in, right?
I love that metaphor. The whole idea,
like
you're in. Yeah, like you're an actor in your own play. You can ask for the script. It's already written.
We are. I know.
We are.
And it's the script for the highest timeline, right? Because that's what you want to be on.
And see, this is exactly why we need to keep on playing big and continue to do the uncomfortable, create these tarot decks, create these videos, do the posts with the fancy backgrounds, whatever.
Yeah, with the LOL dolls in the background.
Absolutely, because we really do all have a place here. And I think this weird sense of competition, of needing to be seen, which I've also battled with that too. Just this idea that like I gotta keep up with the Joneses, you know, and stay up to date.
Yeah.
And I'm just realizing, I've always known it, but there's sometimes you just have to check yourself and relax, because like, what really is the competition? We're all doing our own thing.
Yeah. And really, if we are all one, which we are, I am you, you are me.
You are me. Yes,
right? So really, who are you in competition with? Competition with yourself, I guess. But you're just viewing another version of yourself. Right? So cheerlead them. Be like, all right, that's amazing. Like, look what you're doing. Like, you should always like just be each other's cheerleaders. And that's what I love. Agree. Yeah. And when you start to think like that, you start to attract more people like that into your life too, right? Whereas if you feel like you're in competition all the time, who are you going to attract into your life? People that you can compete with? Yeah. Right?
It's very interesting because as you're saying this, I mentioned already, I didn't necessarily grow up in the most supportive space.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I started getting encouragement from other people, even with my Instagram page, at first I was so skeptical. And it's people that I wrote those paragraphs to, like, hey, can you please check out my page? They check it out, actually give positive feedback.
Yes.
And then I'd question it.
Oh,
yeah, that's terrible, isn't it? I'd be like, oh my gosh, what if they're just saying that because they don't want to make me feel bad? What if they don't actually like what I'm doing?
Yeah.
It's just, and that's the constant cycle. And that's why it's so important to be doing the work all the time.
Yes. You have to. It's almost like you have to have tunnel vision. Doesn't matter what, doesn't matter what these people are saying, because it's just you anyway, right? So just tunnel vision, just keep going, and just, just be respectful with everybody, regardless of what they have to say anyway, right? Yes. Because not everybody's going to like us anyway. Nobody, like, not everybody likes you, not everybody likes me.
I agree.
Right? We rub people the wrong way because they're seeing it differently too. Like, again,
and we all play a different role in everybody else's journey. So whoever we end up encountering, maybe we are not meant to be the buddy friend for that person.
That's right.
Because we are supposed to be a catalyst for their healing and to trigger them for something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's almost like embrace whatever role you end up having.
It's true.
Yeah.
In the movie, in the script.
Yes. Okay. And just embrace whatever role you have to play in everyone else's life, and to just try your best to stop taking things so personally.
I know.
And when it comes up, just own it, recognize it, move through the motions, choose the thing that you would not normally choose. And it's going to keep on coming up, and then just keep on choosing.
I know.
And I think that's the false idea about dealing with imposter syndrome, or like going on a spiritual journey and healing. The assumption that's made is once you deal with it the one time, okay, done. And that's not the case at all.
It comes back in many different forms throughout your whole life. But the thing is as you're ascending and growing and being more aware, you're able to deal with it in a different way. Whereas like maybe at one point in your life, it took months, years, whatever, maybe it's just moments of recognizing it and being like, okay, I know what to do now. Okay, clear. It'll come up again, but I just keep dusting it, right?
Oh my gosh, Danielle. Wow.
It's fun,
so much
isn't it?
for a couple of girls having a chit chat.
Yeah. Like, there's one friend that I have here and we could just talk. Well, I just met with her yesterday and for 3.5 hours, we're just talking, just talking about spiritual stuff, just stuff.
I love it.
I know, me too. I could talk for hours.
Me too. Me too. Oh, and I'm so thankful for this space. And for anyone who is going to watch this video or is watching it currently, that's why it is so important to just trust your intuition and be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Like, don't be the closeted spiritual person that we once were.
Or that you think that you're expected to be.
Yes.
Right? Like people, like, I don't know. I just find, I know for myself from experience too, I don't think too much like that anymore, but it's almost like, okay, how am I supposed to think? Right? It's like, okay, is this the right answer? Is this what I should be talking about? Oh, I can't talk about this. Oh, I should talk about this. Is this how I should talk about it? Right? It's like, no. Whatever is flowing through you is the right answer in that moment. So just go with it. Your intuition is guiding you. It's telling you what you're supposed to be doing and saying in that moment, for the highest timeline for yourself, right? And others around you, to be like a conduit for their change too, right? Because we emit these frequencies of, like, whatever state we're in, we're emitting these frequencies. So you have a choice in that moment of what frequency that you want to be in. And then that either raises or lowers the frequency for the rest of the people around you too.
Oh, my heart, it feels so good. It's so true. It's so true. And it's this idea as well that when you are choosing to not be your authentic self, you're doing a disservice to no one else but you.
Yes.
And like you have this particular timeline to do everything that you can. And all of your choices is a ripple effect. So when you are not acting like yourself, you're taking away from the entire collective being able to and elevate together.
Yes.
Adding to the problem.
I know, and that's what I say too. It's like when you shine your light, it gives permission for other people to do the same. It's like, she's speaking her truth. That resonates with me. Yeah. Can I do that? Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Oh yes, I can do that.
Yes.
Right.
And that is the key to transformation. The key is through sharing, because when you are sharing and it's from the authentic space, other people will mirror that same authenticity. So for anyone watching, be yourself. Whatever your version of being spiritual means, which like, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It could just be sitting there creating, never ever talking to anybody, but you're emitting this beautiful frequency of like high energy because you are in your creative element, which is emitting this beautiful like beam of light. You don't even have to be talking to anybody. You could be the most quiet hermit that there ever was, and you're still helping the collective with your energy field, because our energy field is so huge.
It really is.
Right?
It really is. And when you really think about that, what an incredible opportunity. What an incredible existence. Like, just what? Yeah. We have the power to do that.
I know. Like,
we can impact people.
That's right. And people don't realize that too. Like, so, because you know that I walk a lot. So I do these different things, like the whole lion thing that I was telling you about.
Yes.
But sometimes I'll even walk and I will pretend that I'm like this 20-foot built, like a person, right? And I extend my energy right out, and I'm like this big giant walking, because my energy does go out that, like, it's massive, right? And it
look at us. We're not even in the same space, and I feel your energy.
Exactly, but we are.
Yeah.
Right? I know. Well, I mean, geez, I do energy work on people halfway across the world, right? Yeah. And I can connect to their energy field, right? So, we are. I would. Yeah.
This was so awesome, Danielle. Thank you so much for saying yes when I asked you. I had
Absolutely.
to step off my imposter syndrome to even be
Yeah.
comfortable asking you.
I know, it's true. I know, but
Yeah.
you just, but you already knew the answer anyway.
I did.
Yeah.
I actually did.
Yeah.
I felt like if I can't explain what it was. It's your vibration. And it's funny, we never met each other. We knew nothing about each other. We literally became friends off of a screen.
It's true. It's true. I know. And that's the thing. When you start sharing in the way that you are, your authentic self, you're going to attract those like-minded people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you, you feel me, and there's more people to come too into our lives, right?
I can't wait for that.
I know, me too.
I just wish this lockdown would freaking end. You know, I've always read about like these spiritual conventions or people doing meet and greets and all that. And just to be in the space of light workers, like people that are really invested in the same thing.
Absolutely. That you can have these conversations without appearing, well, as we all say, like crazy. We don't want to look crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like-minded people that you can just have these conversations with, and it's just normal. Normal
in our abnormal world.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Right.
I wish we didn't even have to use the like those terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Me too. Well, thank you so much for joining me for my, like, I don't know, I haven't had a conscious conversations video in forever. Also imposter syndrome, but I'm so happy that the comeback is with you.
And maybe I was tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, right?
You really were. Yeah. And I tapped into your live as well, like I think 2 of your lives. And I was just so inspired by your authenticity and you sharing with everyone that like, oh, this is different for me, but sure, I'll do it.
I'll do it. And you know what? I laugh a lot and people might think I'm a little bit giddy, but
and it's all good. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So your future project, you mentioned you have a new tarot deck that's coming out.
Yes.
Any idea approximately when that would be, what we can expect for people, viewers that are listening?
So I'm finishing the court cards now for the deck. So the minors and majors are done. I've sent that away for printing, like just to have it, right, to start using it. And then I'm finishing the court cards. I have 13 left. And then I need to do the book and the box. So this summer for sure. And then I'll put, I'm really excited. It's so funny though, because it's a Norse pagan deck, but it's different, right?
I've seen some of your photos on your page.
Yeah.
Very different from this deck.
Yeah. But it's funny, when I started creating the deck, I was like, it's going to be so gory and bloody. My guides were like, nope, that's not you. So it's a Viking deck that is not like, because before starting a project, you look around to see what's out there, right? And I felt like, without saying this in a rude way, a lot of the decks I find is like a lot of white supremacy. Yeah. So I didn't want it to be like that. So if you go onto my page, you'll be able to see more of it. But
I agree with you, by the way. That's not off color to say at all. I can't even name a deck to you where I've seen an Asian person. I can't tell you. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, and correct me, anybody, if I'm wrong. But no, you're right.
Yeah. Right. So I found that really difficult, and I knew that I needed to make a change in that. So, and with a lot of the Viking decks, it's like gory and like black and white, and they're not bright colored at all. So I'm like, it's quite different. So I'm really excited to put that out into the universe too. So so summer Kickstarter in the summer. So
definitely looking forward to that. And where can people find you? Your website, social media?
Oh, geez. Yeah. So my website is danielnorman.ca. Perfect. And then, Instagram, Dani'el Norman, and then Ascension Tarot.
Perfect. And for anyone wondering, I will put all of that information in the description box down below. Definitely make sure you check Danielle out, check out her website, follow her on Instagram. If you haven't already checked out her Ascensions Tarot deck, I promise you it's money well spent. Get the deck.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are
you
so
so much.
welcome.
That was so much
Thank you
fun.
again. It was so much fun. We need a part 2. And
Yes,
this time
I'll
with
definitely
wine.
do it again. You let me know. You let me know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So take care, everyone, and we will catch you in the next conversation.